The rain hadn't stopped all morning. It tapped anxiously against the windows of the Langsford Holmes home, as if the sky itself sensed the tension building inside. Ruth Langsford stood in the kitchen, shirt sleeves rolled up, hands trembling slightly as she wiped the countertop for the 5th time. She wasn't cleaning, she was trying to breathe. Upstairs, Eamonn Holmes sat quietly on the edge of their bed, staring down at a folded letter he had read so many times the edges had softened. His face, usually so expressive, warm, and effortlessly witty, was caught between fear and determination. This wasn't a fight he had expected. Not now. Not like this. He heard the soft footsteps approaching before he saw her. "Eamonn?" Ruth's voice cracked. Just a little, the way it only did when her heart was carrying more weight than it could hold. He looked up. Their eyes met. And in that one moment, everything they had built, the laughter on live TV, the banter, the arguments, the quiet nights, seemed to stand behind them like a living memory. "Ruthie," he whispered, his voice gentler than she'd heard in weeks. "We need to talk." She walked toward him slowly, each step heavy with dread. She sat beside him, close enough to feel his warmth, close enough to sense the storm brewing just beneath his steady gaze. "Tell me," she whispered, "please." He unfolded the letter, the doctor's letter, and placed it between them like a fragile truth. "The tests, they found something. It's not life-ending, but it's going to be a climb. A hard one." Ruth's breath hitched. Her eyes filled instantly, like glass cracking from pressure. "Why didn't you tell me sooner?" Eamonn swallowed, shaking his head. "Because I didn't want you to be scared. I know how you worry. I thought maybe if I pretended everything was fine, it would be." A tear escaped down her cheek, and she brushed it away angrily. "You don't get to carry this alone. Eamonn, we're a team. We always have been." He reached for her hand, their fingers intertwining like two puzzle pieces that had weathered storms for decades. "I know, and I'm telling you now because I can't face this without you." For a moment, the house fell silent, except for the soft patter of rain and the sound of two people trying to steady themselves in the middle of a storm they never saw coming. Then Ruth leaned forward and wrapped her arms around him, not delicately, not cautiously, but fiercely, the way someone hugs the person they're most afraid of losing. Eamonn closed his eyes, letting her warmth sink into him. "We'll get through this," she whispered into his shoulder. "Do you hear me? Whatever it is, we'll face it together." He smiled, small and tired, but real. "I knew you'd say that." An hour later, they were in the living room, blankets around their shoulders, the untouched tea on the table growing lukewarm. Ruth rested her head against him as he explained everything. The symptoms he had been hiding, the late-night worries, the fear that had tied itself around his chest. And as he spoke, Ruth wasn't just listening. She was planning the appointments, the recovery, the way she would be his anchor like he had been hers so many times before. The rain began to ease. Sunlight peeked timidly through the clouds, casting gentle light across the couple curled together on the sofa. Ruth reached for his hand again. "This isn't tragic news," she said softly, voice steady now. "It's just another chapter, and we're not done yet." Eamonn squeezed her hand, his heart settling for the first time in weeks. "No," he agreed, "not even close."